It's the Derek and Mike podcast. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. You can hit us up online. Links to all our stuff are on our website, derekandmike.com. My name is Mike. This is my boy, Derek.
What's up, Mike? What's up, everybody?
We have Rick Finger in the house today, everybody.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Derek? What's up, everybody?
Ooh, you stole Derek's intro. I like that.
Oh,
No. I'm following greatness. That's all.
Nice. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Understand?
All right. Yeah. We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
I just noticed my background is backwards.
Yes, it is.
Dabner on Lochtung Ak.
No. It looks right to me.
It's correct to you?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe my preview is just bad. And my hat's spelled backwards. This is awkward.
For you. I think
Watch us in the mirror and we'll make sense. Well, it's awesome to have Rick Finger on the show. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me yet again, man. I can't miss this opportunity. I love it. Love it.
Well, this
love
is the
guys.
first time we had you on the podcast where we can actually see you. Normally, you're just a
Oh,
voice,
no.
a man with no face. And here you are, your face.
Damn it. Now your fans have to look at this? Shit.
He
Well,
actually
you're
says-
pretty blurry. I don't know if it's...
How's
Yeah,
this?
it'll come in later. Ooh, wow. Creepy.
extreme
it's
close up. Wah! Oh,
you guys
man.
just getting bigger and better, man. Now you got video and everything. What's next? Yeah.
I don't know. Spaceships? I don't know. What is next? What else can we do?
Go to the moon for
AI
vacation.
enhancement.
Yeah, we already used some AI. We've accomplished that enhancement. Next, we're taken over by AI, and then you're not actually talking to us. You're just talking to Derek and Mike bots.
Right.
That'll be
Yeah.
next. No, that means I don't
Hopefully
even have
that's
to do
not
any
like-
work. Yeah, man, if a bot... Oh, it will be. It'll be like next week, dude.
Bots
Oh,
can't be
geez.
funny, though. They just don't have any humor.
No, not at all. So then it will be just like us. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
You'll never know the difference.
Maybe not like me.
Slam. Slam.
God help us all.
So, okay, I have a question for Derek, but before we do that, Rick, do you have any new jokes for us?
New jokes. You got to start me off with jokes right now, huh?
Dude, no, I'm going to keep asking you for jokes. And anytime I feel like there's a
Oh.
lull, I'm going to go, Rick, give me a joke, and you're going to spit one out because you're the joke factory who retains...
I got a couple dad jokes for you, I guess. Well, not so
well,
much
all
dad
right.
jokes, but well, let's
Derek
see.
and I are both dads. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's true. So, all right, let's start off with so my neighbor came over and asked me where my sister's going to take her vacation. So I told him Alaska. He's like, it's cool. I'll ask her myself.
All right.
That's a dumb one. Dad jokes.
He's warming up. He's warming up, folks. He'll have,
All right. Well, this is a better one. So I found out a couple days ago that my neighbor's been screwing his teacher for months.
well,
We're all like crazy, but we've come to find out it's kind of crazy because he's homeschooled.
all right. That's incestuous. Yeah.
Funny.
It takes a second to go, yikes. All right. Okay. Yeah,
that's
there you
that's
go.
Gosh.
funny.
Okay,
That one
I
was
got it.
better.
It
That
took
was
me a while. Yeah, so, gosh.
When you have to insist to someone that your joke was funny, that's
All right. Well, yeah, you guys are a tough crowd, I have to say. Man.
I thought it was fun. No, your second one was good.
No,
Your first
no,
one was
it
a
It was
little
good.
corny.
My brain is slow. So
Derek
like,
didn't get
I
it.
literally didn't get it for like 10 seconds.
And then you saw him get it. I could see it in your expression, Derek, when you went like, the
Yeah.
repulsion in the understanding.
My brain is slow
All right,
and pure.
Okay,
So
well, here's a much
I don't
cleaner one
think
for
it
you
will.
guys. Here's a much cleaner one then. Did you hear
Okay.
about the silent tennis game? There was no racket.
Ooh. Yeah, we could have done without that. That was
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just heard
You're
it a couple
warming up.
days ago, too.
Hey,
He's warming up. All right, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's the
we
beginning
will
of the
come
show.
back to more of Fingers Funnies when
Oh no!
when they're funny. All right, and
Yeah, no promises.
oh, but yeah, serious, dude. So I had my worst nightmare come to reality, Derek.
Oh,
And I mean, seriously, like this was like
Oh my gosh.
as bad as it gets. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was at least a 40. So I was I was eating breakfast with my boys, and my younger boy. Oh wait, no. So I was just eating breakfast with not my boys, just my younger boy who was homesick that day for school. So I was working from home. He was homesick. My older boy was at school, and it was just he and I having a fun time eating some food. While we were eating, I got a work call, so I had to step out of the room so they didn't hear like cartoons in the background and shit because I'm working from home, but I don't want it to sound like I am. So I stepped out of the room, took the work call. I was probably out on the work call for, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes, something like that. Walked back into the kitchen, and my younger son had grabbed a big bottle of vinegar and had squirted it all over the fucking house, dude.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
that's actually a lot better than I thought you were gonna say, man.
That's good. I thought it was going to be
dude.
like a butcher knife or something.
I thought he was gonna say like he's choking and you had to go like save him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. No, I know the Heimlich. That wouldn't be that scary. I'd just save his life
Yeah,
real
but
quick.
if he's choking for 5 minutes, God knows.
All right, so I'm exaggerating a bit, but I don't know if Derek knows this. I don't know if you know this about me, but I hate vinegar. Like the smell of vinegar makes me want to punch someone or kill myself.
Whoa.
Either one, whichever makes the smell go away faster. And when I walked back into the room and he was holding that bottle of vinegar and I looked around and there's puddles on the floor, the kitchen table was covered in it. He sprayed it all over the counter.
Oh, wow.
And I
You
was
had
just
to
looking
do it.
around like I'm selling the house. Like I'm out, dude.
How long before your wife got home?
Oh, it was early in the day. Like I was going to work from home so she
Oh,
could
yeah,
go out and
breakfast.
work that day. Like,
Sure.
oh yeah, it would have been a long time. And yeah, my first thought was we're leaving. Like he and I are going to go get a hotel or something. I can't be here.
How'd you endure? Did you make him clean it up?
Yeah, how'd you get out of that? mess?
I manned up and wiped it all up with paper towels. The solution isn't as funny as the problem, but that initial realization that my son just sprayed vinegar all over the entire house was horror and terrified. I was absolutely ready to sell the house. Like that was it. I hated it.
That kid has a good future.
Yeah, he's like you, dude. That's something
I think
Derek.
that's
Oh, like, oh,
easier
Mike's
to
gone for 5
torture you.
minutes. What would he hate to walk back to the most? Vinegar everywhere. I got it.
Yeah, you're
Yep,
lucky I'm not
yep.
there more often. I'd be like, hey,
Hey Benjamin, you should go spray vinegar all over your dad's shoes, or inside my hat. So I put my hat on and be like,
yeah.
what the fuck? My hat smells.
that'd be great if you
Or
just
you're-
did, like it's just a faint smell all day long.
Like it smells like vinegar. I'd go shower and come back, put my hat back on, and go,
Just a
fuck,
little
it's still
bit.
there. I still smell it.
No, Ben, just a little bit, just a little.
In your nasal spray.
My toothpaste. Oh, yeah, I hate vinegar. Do you have anything, Rick, that you just hate more than anything? Like, my wife loves vinegar because it's a non-chemical cleaner. She doesn't want to spray bleach all over the house and stuff, so she cleans everything with vinegar, and I hate it more than anything.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing that gets me deathly ill sick is that curry smell that the Indians cook with. Like I don't know what it is, and that curry smell. But there's been more than 2 jobs I've walked away from because I can't enter that house with that smell. I will puke, and I'll tell them just like that
Careful.
too, like really nicely. I'll be like, I'm so sorry, man, but I can't come in right now because I can't handle that smell. And she's like, well, it's just curry. I'm like, well, that curry is let me go.
You
So-
tell them why you're not going to
Oh,
do their
yeah.
job. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
hi, I'm here to fix your bathtub. Oh, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
What's
It's not
that
bad.
smell? Oh, that's just our dinner. We love that smell. That's what we cook with. Curry. It's our favorite thing to eat. It's so disgusting. I'm leaving, and I'm not taking your money.
Yep.
I'm not doing the work here
Amen.
because your house smells like death.
Reschedule city, my friend. Absolutely, dude. But yeah,
Relate to
curry
that
is
one.
like the one smell, man. Curry and of course vomit. If I smell vomit,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
puking
I'm
myself.
there with
You
you.
know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. Though. But vinegar, I'll tell you what I do love that most people hate is gasoline and fresh tires. I don't know what it is about those 2 smells. I love it. You know?
Okay.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Gasoline is
Gasoline
rocking.
does smell good. Like,
Yeah.
you spill some gasoline. It is a strangely pleasing smell.
It is. It's an acquired smell, and so is fresh tires. Like when you go into like a big old tire store or something.
Yeah,
and you
I don't
smell
like
that
that smell.
fresh rubber.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm with you. I think that's cool too. Yeah, you know what? I never thought about it until now, but the memory of fresh tires, I've always thought kindly of.
I hate
Yeah.
tire
And
shops. What I hate most about tire shops is that you can't make an appointment. You can't just go, hey, here's the car I have. I'm going to be there at 1 o'clock, and I want my tires to be ready, and I'd like you guys to be ready, and I'd like to be out of there by 1:30. Or a reasonable amount of time. I'll even give you an hour to do my tires if I plan ahead. I'll come next fucking Wednesday if that's how far in advance you need to plan on. I'll be there at 1 o'clock next Wednesday, and I want my tires there. I want them ready, and I want your crew ready, and I want to be out of there in an hour. You can't fucking do that. You have to come in the morning, give them your car, and then they'll call you at 4:59. Oh, hey, your car's ready, and we close at 5. Like, I hate tire shops. So walking in there and smelling...
that bad, but yeah, you're gonna have to wait in that
Why?
little
Why can't
room.
I fucking schedule my tire installation?
I get you.
Fuck them.
You're only as
Tire
fast as the
shops.
people ahead of you, man. You know.
I don't care how delicious their tires smell. Fucking assholes. What's up with that? Like, dude, you would make a killing if you would make scheduled, we care about your time tire shop. That's kind of a long name. Maybe we could shorten that. But, if you make a tire shop that is able to make appointments. It's like a restaurant who doesn't take reservations. Like, why? What the fuck? Why can't you take my reservation? If I don't show up, give away my table. But if I'm there, I want a table ready. What the fuck?
Right?
Probably too many people don't show up, so it's like there's some restaurants that don't take reservations too.
I know.
You got to figure. So it's probably the same line of thought where they don't end up showing up to the reservations. So it's like, they have to scrap that idea.
Okay, so say someone tells you, hey, I've got a party of 6. We're going to be there at 8 o'clock for dinner. So you take my reservation. And you explain to me on the phone, listen, sir, our reservation policy is 0 tolerance. There is no grace period. If you show up, if you don't show up at 8:01, we're giving away your table. Then are they really losing anything by taking your reservation and having a table ready at 8 o'clock? And if you're not there, they can just give it to the next people who walk in?
I hear you, but can you do that though? I mean, people are going to be 15 minutes late. I mean, that's kind of the general rule of thumb is like 15
parking
minutes
sucks.
Well, then be early. And
I hear you.
Isn't it worse to say, sorry, we can't take your reservation? But it's like, come on, my grandma is coming in. She's 103. I don't want to have her sitting waiting for 25 minutes for a table. If we could please just book a table for 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, we don't take reservations. Fuck your grandma. She can stand and wait like everybody else. Like, isn't that a worse answer than, okay, we'll book your table, but if you're 8 seconds late, your table will not be ready. We're giving it away. If you're here at 8:01, you're fucked. I'm sorry. Okay, no problem. My grandma and I will be there early.
I could live with that. I just think there's a lot of people that can't live with that.
So people like not willing to own up to their own lateness and it being their own fault that their table wasn't ready at 8:05 because, traffic's bad. Like, yeah, fucking sucks. Traffic's bad for everybody. Traffic was bad for the family that got here at 8, and we gave them your table. So sorry. It's better to just say sorry.
You might lose a customer forever because of that one interaction.
Man.
Just because of the one.
So it's better to tell them, fuck you, we won't book your table at 8, rather than, sorry, you were late, it's your fault.
I just want to know who said "fuck you," fuck
right.
my grandma, dude. Because I want to go punch him in the face.
Well,
fuck your grandma. She's 103. Fuck her, dude.
Fuck your grandma. No, what I mean is, if you're saying like, hey, my grandma's 103, I can't have her standing there for 20 minutes waiting for a table to be ready. Please just have a table ready at 8. And they're like, nah, fuck your grandma. We don't take reservations.
Is your grandma really 103?
No, I don't have a 103-year-old grandma. My grandma's
I
have no grandmas anymore. They're all dead.
I never had one anyway.
Now
so
I'm just sad. I have a step grandma who's still around, and she's damn close to 103. And she's still like a social butterfly party animal, cooler than shit old lady. So I bet she will be around till 103.
Don't you wish that was
Step, you say,
Yeah, no, they're not my genes. She's like step. She's like twice
your
removed.
dad's wife's.
Oh. She's totally unrelated to me genetically. She's a step. She's a grandma twice removed by marriage.
Gotcha.
So she's my stepmom's stepmom.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that easier?
My
than
grandparents died earlier,
Yeah.
so I probably don't have a very good pathway to to 80 or 90. I'm hoping I do, but
Well,
Shit.
I guess a lot of it has to do with genes, but so much of it has to do with the lifestyle and the way you live, right? And modern medicine. I mean, when you get back into your great-great-grandparents, you start talking about like, oh, hey, they died of polio or some shit. We've solved those problems. So hopefully those odds are a little more in our favor these days.
yeah, didn't people
Yeah,
used to
well,
die
for
when they were,
for
like,
some
in
of
their
us,
40s?
Yeah, I think like average. Well, okay, no. So that's an interesting statistic. So like the average life expectancy, when you go back to like
I
the
get you.
1800s and you say, oh, average life expectancy was 42, that didn't mean that most people lived and died at 42. It means that people lived until 70, 80, 90 just as commonly as they do now, but there was such a high infant mortality rate that it dragged down the average. So many babies and 1 and 2 and 5-year-olds were dying that it made the average 42. But I think there was like a median where once you made it past 8 or 13 or something, then you were statistically likely to make it to 80 or 90, just like we are.
Okay.
Something like maybe 70 or 80.
Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, and the big difference between median and mean. Right?
Yeah,
Mean
yeah.
is
So to say the average
median
life expectancy is like, yeah, but all those,
Yeah.
it's sad, but the infant mortality can't really be accounted for how long you plan to live because once you're 20, you've kind of made it past that susceptible to
I
childhood.
will survive.
I will survive.
you see, now I'm screwed on that note, dude, because in my family, all the males, my oldest living male in my family lived to be 78 years old. And you know who
Okay.
that was? My dad. You
All right.
know? So I have 3 uncles, and all of them. My mom's side, she had 1 brother. He died young of cancer. But like on my mom's side, she has cancer. On my dad's side, he has heart disease. So I am fucked. I'll be happy if I make it to 78, dude. I'll tell you that. But
I
don't expect
fucked.
you. I'll tell you that. I am fucked, dude. Yeah.
Sorry.
That was great, dude. I like it. Oh man, you got the laughing audience. Oh. But anyway,
I don't have access to those tracks.
But
dude.
let
I
me
don't
ask you guys.
switch
Let me
back.
ask you guys this question: How
Yeah.
old were you guys? Like, do you guys have any grandparents left, or how old were you when their last grandparent died? You know?
How old were you, Dee, when your grandparents checked out?
I think I was 18.
Oh, okay. So you knew him
18?
as a young
Yeah,
adult.
they basically died at about the same time.
Oh.
I mean, I'm glad that I got to spend a good amount of time with them.
Sure.
But yeah, cancer. But they
So I
smoked.
had-
They started smoking when they were 16. So
Oh, wow. Wow.
yeah.
I'm happy I
know,
quit that part. Let me tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
So I had 6 grandparents. I was lucky enough to come from a broken home, so I had an extra set of grandparents, which worked out fantastic. And I had grandparents still around well into my 20s. I don't remember exactly how old I was when my mom's dad was the last one to pass, and then my dad's mom was close to the same time. I would say late 20s or early 30s. I had him around for a long time.
Oh, he was the war hero guy, right?
Well, he served in the Air Force. He wasn't necessarily a war.
was
Okay. I'm
MacArthur's,
sorry. I'm thinking
I
of my
always get
dad's dad.
confused.
Served in the Air Force. My mom's dad was.
Oh, I see.
So a war hero is a tough thing to label, but he did some amazing stuff in the Korean War. So he was assigned to General MacArthur's honor guard. And what that is, it's like this elite unit of hand-picked soldiers who are basically like the direct guard detail to General MacArthur and wherever he's stationed. So when he was stationed in Korea, he was put up in Korea during the Korean War in a residence, and that residence was obviously really heavily guarded. And the guard that was in charge of that residence security was the honor guard. And MacArthur handpicked everybody. And it was an interesting description of how they handpicked the soldiers that would qualify. So obviously service record and ability and all that would play into being picked for this. But you also had to be within a very tight weight and height range so that they all looked pretty uniform. And even something as subjective as you had to look handsome in your uniform. So you couldn't just be the right height and the right weight. You had to look good, you know. So
Well, the wife has to like you too, right?
well, So my grandpa, who was hilariously vain, and he would always say like, "Well, so of course I was picked for this, because it was all based on looks." And he was a hilarious guy. And but that was true, because in the handbook of the honor guard, it does actually list that not only do you have to be the right height and weight, you gotta look good doing it.
Every time you say honor guard, I hear honor guard.
Honor. Yeah. I called it honor. I called it the color guard once, and he was like, "Oh no, this is not the color guard," which I honestly don't know the difference, but apparently there's a big difference, because he was just like, "Whoa, no, this was not the color guard. It was the honor guard." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I will go educate myself on the difference."
I guess color guard is like what, the black people of the honor guard?
No.
How does that work?
I think it's probably relates to the color revolution.
I think the color guard is like kind of a ceremonial unit that parades with the flag, the colors. I could be wrong. I'm very likely wrong, but I think it's more of a ceremonial unit versus an elite handpicked unit charged with the security of a high-level general.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I think it's...
Because I know back in the Korean War, it was like really segregated back in those days, right? So...
Well, Jim Crow was full in effect in the 50s, for sure, yeah. Yeah.
You can take that a couple different ways, I guess.
I'm scared. Rick, you always pull down some
Don't worry, I'm not going near that at all. I'm just saying history is what it was, and I'm just seeing, that's all.
Yeah. I'll just say there were still bathrooms and establishments where not everyone was welcome in the 50s. So, sure, there was plenty of that.
There were not. Yeah.
There was plenty
Here are my dad's stories, too. I've heard a lot of them.
Where'd your dad grow up?
My dad was born in the Bronx and grew up in the Bronx, but he joined the military at 17, and that was right when the Cuban Missile Crisis was going on. So he was actually deployed to the Cuban Missile Crisis, and his actual vessel, the USS Sellers, were the ones that had to approach a Russian ship that came across the line. So my dad and his people had to board that ship, and apparently my dad took fire, and his buddy next to him dropped, and he had to get him out. He had to get him out of there, and
ship cool firing, or was this on land in Cuba?
No. It was in the water. America boarded a Russian ship that crossed the line, and there was an imaginary line, in the ocean, and if Russia crossed it, we were going to, take over that ship or blow them out of the water or whatever have you. But because the ship drifted over the line, my dad's ship had orders to board that ship and take it over. You know what I mean? So they did. They all boarded the ship. My dad went below with a couple buddies, and they took on fire. And one of my dad's really good friends took one and died right then and there. So he returned fire. He says he thinks he hit one, but he's not sure. But
that's some pirate shit right there, dude. Like boarding another vessel and battling on deck. Like that's swashbuckling.
Yeah, and on the brink of nuclear war. You know what I mean? So
no shit. Wow. That's I bet nobody knows about that. You know what I mean? That
no. He says very few people did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, I think a lot of that too. I don't know all the details of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but I think a lot of that was suppressed in the media because a lot of it just didn't go the way we wanted to. Right? It was a big embarrassment for Kennedy, the Bay of Pigs, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of it came out, but it was all disgraceful and it all kind of went shitty. So we probably weren't talking about it and touting it as much as we would had everything gone our way. If we were we wanted to annex Cuba and make that part of America, and that didn't pan out.
Nope.
Wasn't that Operation Northwoods?
I'm not sure, but it would have been a rad place to vacation, just another Hawaii, basically, like a rad tropical island. Like fuck, man, and bitchin' cigars. Like boy, we really missed out.
Right.
Thanks, Kennedy,
you're on the
for blowing that loser.
Yeah.
No, I think it was
we could have the Caribbean
scenes.
island.
Kennedy was kind of hostage, I think, in a lot of those things because Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag by the CIA to take airliners and fly them into a building or something so that they could invade Cuba.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that theory.
Not many people know. It's not a theory. It's it's on Wikipedia.
It must be true.
It's got to be true.
Well, Wikipedia is heavily edited, so.
Yeah. Something is on there. It gets Yeah, it's edited, mediated. It's a pretty scrutinized
Distorted.
public document. Yeah, it's not like one guy writes it and no one else can change it. Like a billion people can go in there and change it. So if something kind of stands out as being, baseless or opinion or whatever, it usually gets kind of taken down or changed.
And a lot of people say that about the Bible too, but well.
Yeah. Good point, Rick. That's a good point.
How many times has the Bible been, changed that we won't know about?
Absolutely. Like they took
just one, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then all the other revisions are basically just different compilations of all the different books that make up the Old Testament and New Testament. But people are still pretty entrenched in those old compilations of even older writings, and put a lot of weight in those books. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, just leave it at that. And no one's ever right, no one's ever wrong.
To each their own. So. I prefer go. Some people like the Bible. It's all good, man.
Shit, Mike Causey for president, man. That's, yeah. You should run for president, Mike. I like your views, brother.
my view. Do whatever the hell you want. Just don't be a dick. Yeah. Thank you. I'm Mike.
Are you not religious, Rick? I thought you were religious.
No, I am. I'm religious. I believe in God, absolutely. I'm the kind of guy that, like, and now I am starting to go to church more, I'll admit, but it's like you don't need church to know you believe in God, you know what I mean? And there's no way people are going to preach you into believing what they want you to believe. I don't ever believe in that at all, but people have their beliefs. No one's ever right, no one's ever wrong. So you have an opinion, great, but to argue against somebody else's opinion, it's pointless. Yeah. So I just try not to ever talk about it,
Yeah. When's the last time you were at church, Mike? I can't even say it with a straight face.
I've been to churches. They, like weddings,
voluntary.
Yeah, like I'm invited to something that I can't, get out of reasonably. So I go and I've entered church buildings, sir.
Oh man.
How about you, D? You go.
I don't go to church.
Do you so living where you live, do you feel pressure? Do you get pressure to be a member of a church? Do people almost kind of passively, socially pressure you to state your claim?
Yes, that comes up here often.
Yeah, it does.
Like you will be talking to somebody and it'll be like, it's like their duty is to get you to come to their church. It's like, that's like ingrained in them.
Are they Mormons?
How does it sound? What do they, how's that go?
It usually starts like,
does it come with pie?
We could.
Okay. Well, it's a good
it'll
start.
Be like, well, where do you go to church at? And you're like,
so it's not, do you go to church? It's, where do you go to church?
Where do you go to church?
I love California.
You'll be like, well, where do you go to church at? And you're like,
Yeah, you're like,
I go here and there,
God's kind of everywhere,
Well, our pastor is, such as you got to come see our pastor speak sometime. I've had this happen in California too before. Like I remember I was working at, I wasn't working. I was going to school for drafting, and there's a really religious guy in there, and like I turned him down like 2 or 3 times, and then finally I just gave in and I went.
Oh,
and yeah, don't go.
No, I know.
When you don't go the second time, you're now an enemy.
I gotcha.
You are now evil because
you went and saw what it's up against. You don't like it, you're not going back.
So never going. You're a prospect. But once you actually enter the building, now you're a shirker.
Yeah, and then you decide you're not going to go back. You're evil.
Is that why you moved away from California?
Yeah, he was talking.
He's like, I can't live here anymore. I got to go.
I can't do it.
The church is after me. I went and didn't go back.
I think it's the Baptists here that are like the most strongest about that kind of stuff. And I think
there's extreme psychos in every cult.
Yeah. Every religion has them.
You just get random people who are like, I like and respect people who are very passionate about what's important to them and they feel motivated to share it. Totally cool. But I feel resentful and like angry at people who feel like it's their job to convert me. Like, whoa, fuck off. But when someone's super passionate about what they love, like I can feel that, and I'm like, hey, that's so great that you found something that you like. I want no part of it. Please stop talking to me about it. But I'm so happy that you found something that you're so fired up about. Don't ring my doorbell again.
And then they take it so insulting that you don't want to hear about it, and it just like
no, that's what pisses me off. When the next piece is still neighborly and nice, cool, totally cool. But when the next piece is confrontational or negative in any way or holier than thou, like just fuck yourself.
And it's not just religion. Because if it was just religion, it would be boxed in. But it's not just religion.
No,
and I'm going to say something divisive.
Politics.
Here. It's also politics, and it's also like global warming. Like, how dare, if you don't agree with somebody's global warming stance, how dare you? How dare you? Like, I'm just like, that's a tough one too, man. And there's none of these issues that you can logically talk about.
So it's all team mentality, right? So whether it's religion, global warming, Republican, Democrat, whatever political stance, even like all kinds of individual issues like abortion or like the pronoun crap that we're all dealing with and all that kind of stuff. Like those little positions become so teamy that people choose which team they're on, and anyone who disagrees deserves their ire and needs to be converted. And so everyone's got to but it's like this most basic human DNA thing of creating like-minded herds, because that's how we survived for thousands of years. That's just what it's become now is, oh, you don't like SpongeBob? Oh, you have to like SpongeBob. I like SpongeBob, so everyone has to like SpongeBob. And now I'm hating you because you don't like SpongeBob, and my mission in life is to convert you and get you to watch SpongeBob because you have to be on my team.
I heard a great quote that was like kind of surround that.
SpongeBob's great, by the way. You should watch it. Just saying.
Yeah. People don't want to hear your view. They want to hear their view through your mouth.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, Derek.
Yeah.
Converting someone else has nothing to do with me caring about you and your soul or if you would enjoy SpongeBob. It has to do with me being validated through converting you and winning.
That's right. And if you don't validate, people get really offended sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm
they
sorry.
really do.
It's okay that I have a different opinion. I'm not going to apologize for having a different opinion about something sometimes.
Well, and even the most like magnanimous response to that kind of thing, which is what you just said, just like, oh, I totally love that you have your thing, I've got my thing. We can just be cool and not have the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Even that's unvalidating to them. So I think to a lot of people who are seeking that validation, even that's a slap in the face and a letdown. And then I think some of them respond in either a way of maybe they go and reflect, maybe they sit and stew, maybe they just make it their mission to convert you and force you to watch SpongeBob. And now you got yourself dealing with some crazy cult fanatic.
Yeah, but there's some things that are ubiquitous, right? Because we can all agree the Earth is flat.
Of course. I mean,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, I gotta play it too sometimes. It's playtime sometimes, right?
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, duh. I mean,
yeah. I don't understand those people. That's just such a no-brainer. That's such an easy one to poke holes in.
Well, dude, and that's even a good example of facts don't matter. It's all team. And when someone identifies with the team, they'll find any justifying partners in crime and information, and they'll cherry pick details. And I bet a lot of them even know that their argument is scientifically laughable, but it's still their team. It's like being a Bills fan and they lose all the time and they're fucking terrible and the Bills are just, God, they're just so awful. But you just stay with them because it's your team, you know? Like, I'm sure no one feels that way and no one likes the Bills, but I mean, if you did like the Bills,
damn you, Mike.
You would root for the Bills no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though you know it's just not true that, you know, they have a chance at winning, but you still root for the Bills, right, Ricky?
It's the underdog story, dude. Absolutely, man. Hey, you know what the Bills stand for, right? Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. You know? So they lost 4 in a row, so it does stand to make sense now. So it's okay.
They're a good team. They're fantastic, and I don't like sports anyway, so I'm just poking at you to be a dick.
Bills.
Oh, it's all good. You make a very good point, though, dude. You make a very good point. People just want to hear what you want them to hear. And
yeah, it's all team. And
it's all
team conflict is fun. It's even the reason why you enjoy watching, say, in your case, maybe you would have fun watching a Bills game with your good friend who's a Cowboys fan or whatever. and there's
Sure.
rivalry there, and it's fun to talk shit. And you're still sharing a bowl of chips and cracking beers together, but it's fun to watch together with someone you're against and talk shit, and that team against team conflict is fun. And maybe in that scenario, you're enjoying it on a fun level, but it's the exact same ingrained in our DNA human team-like thing that exists in party politics and global warming debates and all the other us and them positions that people take. And
everybody has their beliefs, and everybody's going to be like, passionate about what their beliefs,
Yeah.
And once you see somebody, the way they tell their story and what they're talking about, you know how to handle or react to.
You're like gauging their level of commitment to what they're saying. You're like, you're
right.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then the second you say anything is like part of your your interpretation of what they're saying, you can read their body language and how they're going to react to you. Totally. So I'm usually a pretty good people reader. And I can usually tell by your body language where the conversation is going to go. So I can usually cut it off or extend it, depending on the situation.
That's an interesting point, because while you're listening to someone talk, and in your head you're going, I disagree completely, but you dip your toe in your disagreeing response, so you don't just smash them right out of the gate and just be like, you are absolutely stupid, and everything you're saying is wrong. You disagree slightly, you dip your toe in that pool, and you see how they react, and if they're receptive to it, then you can have a deeper conversation and disagreement. But if you see that they're already recoiling even at the slightest dip of the toe in the disagreement, you're like, I'll be like, what you're saying has some validity, and I'll go find someone else to talk to at this party. You kind of get out of there.
And you get that a lot. And I always tell everybody, look, no matter what, when it comes to religion and politics, no matter what, you're wrong and I'm right and you're wrong. No one's ever going to prove anybody different. So let's just move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're never going to change anybody's mind, no matter who you are. So when somebody has a belief, they keep it.
It's so true. You know what I enjoy, though, and I honestly, maybe I'm weird, but when I find myself in those positions where I find someone that thinks differently than me, I don't care at all about converting them. What I try to do is I want to understand why they feel so strongly about what they do. Oh, wow, like you're really ingrained in your opinion, which is totally opposite of mine. Tell me more. Like, why do you feel that way? Because I can't fucking wrap my mind around how you like this guy or think that way or think that's a better plan. So I'm all questions like, what about this? And why do you think about that? And what do you like so much about this? And I find it interesting. And even if after a whole bunch of questioning and them spilling their guts about why they like something or all their reasons, and you walk away going, that was total bullshit. That guy's fucking wrong. It's still an interesting thing. It's still interesting to hear, because honestly, more often than not, and Derek, you probably know this about me, maybe not more often than not, but a lot of times I'll change my mind and be like, yeah, fuck, that makes a lot of sense, dude.
You're a pretty open-minded guy.
Yeah, I try to be.
You are.
I find it more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are like that, though, dude. Like, you do have that kind of mind that'll let you keep it open and see other people's side of their story. But even though that you agree with I agree that you believe it, doesn't mean that I have to or I want to.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? But I believe you believe it for that reason, so that's fine. But don't try to make me understand and believe your way just because I understand the way you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only best way I can put it, because then arguments and fighting, I've seen fights over religious conversations and politics conversations, it leads to fist fights. And like, for no reason, you're having a beer with somebody. All of a sudden now you're in a fist fight because Trump's going to be president.
Well, remember how, and honestly, I'm really proud of society, how this election is going. We're very close to November to voting, and it's not nearly as contentious or vile as it was the first time Trump was running. That election caused so many families to stop talking to each other. People wouldn't even eat dinner together, you know what I mean? There was so much splitting up and divisiveness in that first round. And in this, when I learned that he was going to run again, I was kind of like, oh, fuck. Like, it was so contentious that first time around, and it's really not that. Or at least I'm not seeing it. It's certainly less than it was that first go-around.
Well, you know why? It's because
we've got our flaws, but I'm pretty proud of society for kind of keeping level heads through what could be a very dirty election, and it's really not.
Yeah. Oh, it's about
but it's also the level of competition too. Like the first time he was going up against Hillary Clinton, right? So
sure,
half the country was divided because they liked her, but now it's that Kamala Harris. No one likes her. You know what I mean? So it's like the level of competition. People are submitting themselves more to Trump because people don't like Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? But people liked Hillary Clinton, so it was more of a battle. So
I think a lot of people thought she was a bitch. Even like
but a lot of
people who were more in line with those sides of politics, like more liberal or more Democrat or whatever. I think a lot of people were still like, she's kind of a cold fish, like I thought she was a Trump candidate.
Right. When I talked to my neighbors about that before, they were all happy to know that if Hillary Clinton's president, Bill's with her, and if she gets out of sorts, he'll just put her back in line. That's the way it was back then. I kept hearing.
I like Bill Clinton. So he's got his problems and all that, but I always pictured Bill Clinton just kind of chilling, smoking a joint, playing the saxophone,
getting a blowjob,
getting a blowjob, smoking a J, playing some tunes. I was just imagine Bill chilling, and I imagine his wife. And dude, I just imagine it in my head. I imagine his wife is such a busy bee, serious all the time, no fun to be around, and Bill's always just in the corner like, fucking chill, man. It's a trip. That's just how I picture their whole. Oh no, Rick dropped his phone. Yikes.
Okay, Rick.
It was so good for a while.
Oh man, that's funny, dude. Okay, speaking of politics, I had something that I wanted to bring up because Derek, you live in a different part of the country. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but for another reason, I love being in California because we don't get political advertising here. And I forget how fucking joyful that is and the bliss of not being a contentious state politically, that we don't get, and no one spends money advertising in California because at this point, at least, we're almost guaranteed blue, so it's a waste of money for either party to spend money here. I traveled to Texas recently, which is a very contentious state these days. Didn't used to be, but Texas is very contentious now between red and blue. And political advertising is nauseatingly ever present. It's constant. Every fucking commercial break is, don't vote for this guy, he's going to kill your kids. And don't vote for this lady, she's Satan in a dress. And it's just constant fucking negative vibe. And I came back home and it just evaporates. And maybe that's my reason for saying, hey, this fucking election's been pretty chill. I'm not really hearing anything. Maybe that's just California. Maybe everywhere else is being pummeled with horrible, contentious, negative advertising. And I wonder, how is it in Tennessee? Are you guys getting a lot of political ads?
I don't watch TV. So if it's on TV, I certainly don't see it.
Well, even if you're in, when you're spending your entire afternoon at the tire shop and you're sitting in the waiting room for 6 fucking hours, you see whatever channel they have on up there and you see commercials.
Yeah, I really don't see commercials, to be honest.
Okay, all right.
But I'll tell you what I'm getting bombarded with, though.
Are you getting, like, junk mail? Are you getting any political advertising at all? Is anyone vying for your vote?
I get a fuckload of text messages.
Yeah, text messages crazily, dude.
But aren't those more like local politics?
No, I got Kamala Harris and Trump text every day.
Same here.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Congress, Senate.
Yeah,
every time I get a political message, I report it as spam and block it. So I think by now I've managed that because I don't get them anymore, but I used to.
I do too. They just keep coming.
Oh, by the way, I got a cool thing. to share with you guys, brother. You guys are still getting those telemarketing calls, right? Like Medi-Cal just put through this deal.
I don't answer calls if I don't have you in my call. If I don't have your number saved in my phone, I don't answer the call anymore. So I do get a lot of junk calls, but I never hear what they are. I just get a call from an unknown number, and then that's it.
Well, in my line of work, I have to answer those calls because I have to answer a bunch of people that just got my number, right? So
sure, yeah, that Indian family who you just left because their house stank is calling you back.
The curry's gone. Come back. Yeah.
We opened the windows. Please fix our bathtub.
Well, I remember back in grade school, my 4th grade teacher taught me this lesson about telemarketers or prank callers, if you will. But when they do call and you get their divided attention and they're listening, like they have to ask you a question first, like, hey, how's your day going? Blah, 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 whatever it is. Then you take this guy right here and you just right in the friggin' deal. And you just hear them like, and blow up the phone. You know what I mean?
But you were a telemarketer. You were a telemarketer.
You were. Rick was a great telemarketer. He was Jim Burns.
I was Jim Burns.
The legendary Jim Burns.
The legend.
Damn.
He was.
And the legendary Chuck Brown too, dude.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
I had a legacy.
This actually happened to me once too while I was selling tools, and it affected me. So I've always remembered that. So
you
now
carry
that
around a whistle?
He carries.
Yeah, in my truck. Because nowadays.
Damn, Rick, you sure are dedicated.
I carry a whistle.
You're like,
but nowadays I get a phone call.
He had that shit ready to go too. He didn't have to go. Oh, hold on, give me a minute. Let me find my whistle and rifle through his pockets. He just went like, bam, it's right here, dude.
I bet every time he gets the phone, he's just reaching for it automatically.
Well, no, wow. I shit you not. I get like 25 telemarketing calls a day, right? So when I answer them, it's always the same automated fucking robot bitch that qualifies me to ring a real person, right? So I always go through the pre-qualifications to get somebody on the phone. And
you don't just hang up when it's like, press 1 if you're you don't hang up. Rick's like, oh yeah, I'm Rick Finger, bring it. Yep, give me a human. I'm gonna
hear it. And then right when they answer the phone, I'm like,
them. That's fucked
I
up.
tried to get Mike.
That's fucked up. Dude, because, telemarketers are people too, right? So they're just some young people or people who have 7 kids and they need a job. Like, they're just going to work and bothering people and they probably don't feel good about it. And then they call Rick.
Why are they always from India? Why are they always from India?
Cheap labor, bro. It's sad. That's the sad answer. There's a billion Indians and they're an impoverished nation and they're willing to work for fucking nothing. So other companies all over the world are willing to exploit their poverty by paying them peanuts to do work that we don't want to do.
Are you guys getting a bunch of? Are you guys getting
blows their eardrums out every time they call. And the more prosperous Indians who have made it to America and own a bathtub, Rick won't even fix it because their food smells bad.
Just don't cook curry, dude. Don't cook curry.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, I made a couple people deaf, I hope, on this thing,
They
dude.
love their curry.
Yeah.
And most curry I can handle. I can handle most curry. It's this certain kind of curry that just bleeds out the house. Something awful.
Is there different? I don't think curry is curry.
What is it, turmeric?
No, well, there's different forms of curry.
Curry will stain your shit too, man.
Yeah.
If you get curry on your clothes, it's never coming out. It'll even stain your fingertips. Like that. Yeah. That's it. I mean, it could be used as like identification to go like, oh, you're Indian. Let me see your fingers. Like, oh, okay, yeah. All right. I can see that you are.
You passed the test.
You definitely eat
that, dude.
curry. I don't like the smell either. It's not, I wouldn't, leave a customer hanging if it smelled like curry, but I don't like it. And it's saturating. So when you go into a home that cooks curry, often it's like in the curtains and the carpet. Like it's a penetrating, lasting odor for sure.
It lingers and sticks. You're right. You
like kimchi?
Not really. Like, I don't choose to eat kimchi. I'm not a big pickly kind of a flavor. I don't like pickled stuff a whole lot. And kimchi is just like, I mean, if it was there, I'd taste it and go, sure, it's fine. But I wouldn't go buy a jar of kimchi.
Hell no.
You like kimchi?
Yeah, I second that.
I love kimchi.
I do not.
No, I don't not like it, but I wouldn't choose it. I wouldn't leave a prospective customer if they were eating kimchi.
I guess I'm not going to take you guys to the Korean restaurant that I found last weekend.
I love Korean food.
Was that where you got your new cat? Oh, your new cat. How's your new cat doing?
Oh, cat's doing good.
Yeah? Derek rescued a cat from we thought it was a Korean restaurant, but it turned out to be Laotian. And Laotians are not known for eating cats. We should clear that up. We made lots of jokes at their expense. And because, Chinese people have the hilarious stigma of eating cats.
Well, I didn't rescue the cat. I rescued the cat by not answering the phone on time.
Oh, that's right. Your heroics were deferment of responsibility. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It worked out perfectly.
I think you're a hero.
Mended together.
Yeah. So
some other guy climbed up a 40-foot tree to get
Derek ignored an emergency, and someone else stepped in and performed an amazing job, and all worked out well. We did a podcast. That guy climbed a tree. Cat got saved. Wife was happy. Happy ending.
Yeah, prosperous.
No, it's perfect. So how's the cat? Good?
Yeah, good.
Do you have a picture of the cat on your phone you can show us?
Yeah.
You take pictures of your cat.
Well, I do, but I also share a photo account with my daughter.
Oh, okay. So Esme takes lots of pictures of the cat.
They come into my
Oh, gotcha.
photo collection.
That's nice save.
You know?
Nice save. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take lots of pictures of my cat
Have
too. I
you
love
sent
my
any
cat.
photos to what was the cat hero name? Hero Steve or Paul or?
Oh yeah, that guy. I don't know. No.
Did you guys ever send him pictures?
He got one cat picture. Yeah. He got
All right.
one cat picture.
All right.
But that was a
guy.
Hey, Mike,
So,
you
Rick,
guys
that's
have
on
any
one of
pets at
our
all?
recent episodes. No.
No, I remember.
Two kids.
I remember.
Our
I
kids
heard
are our pets. We have wild animals.
Yeah, so they haven't asked for a dog or a cat yet from you guys?
Oh God! Every day they want a dog so bad, and we really want to get him a dog. We're not honestly ready to get more dogs yet. We can't do cats because my wife and I are both kind of like allergic to cats. Not like crazy, but here's Derek's new cat. Oh damn shit! She's super cute.
He's a brindle.
Now I'm getting.
He's a
Willie. His name
brindle.
is
That's
Willie.
awesome, dude. Yeah, I got a brindle.
That's a cute
too,
Willie.
man. That's awesome.
Willie Whiskers.
Willie
Willie
Whiskers.
Whiskers.
And what are they called, Rick? A brindle?
Yeah, those are brindles.
What'd you call that cat? A brindle?
Yeah, he's a brindle breed. That's all I ever had in my whole life is brindles. I love brindle cats. They're really friendly people cats, you know. So yeah, if you ever do get a cat,
he's
get
a
a brindle,
sweetheart.
Mike, because they're very, very people friendly. You know.
Okay. All right.
I've never seen a
really
seen a
good
bad
cat.
attitude on a brindle cat. You know.
Never seen an asshole brindle.
Yeah, I do. I've never seen an asshole brindle. Never,
All right.
never.
Well, maybe Derek's will be the first. Maybe Derek's will be the first asshole brindle.
He's an
Oh,
asshole
we could
in other
only
cats,
hope.
but no.
Oh. See, Rick, your theory is baseless. Derek's brindle is an asshole.
What do you? No, he's not.
No,
Probably
no,
the
not
other
to
pets
people.
or cats.
Just the other cats. The other
Yeah.
cats. They run from. I mean, he's a kitten, you know.
Yeah,
Kittens are gonna play with other cats.
see, Mike?
and the other cats.
My
will
base
fuck
holds
this
true.
shit.
You're cutting out now, Ricky. You're what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Oh, damn it.
Damn it.
A little
How
bit.
about now?
Good.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, the how about
Sorry
now
about
and
that.
testing always works. It's when you actually start talking that it cuts out. That's how that works.
It's when you're right at the peak of your delivery.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, we're good. All right, now I'll share my thought, and that's the part that cuts out.
And you'll never believe.
Yeah. Boy, have I got a big one for you.
So
And then she
I
said,
got a blackmail email.
Oh, yeah. Sure, that you spent 40 minutes looking for it. So let's get this blackmail
I
email.
found it. Let me see if I can re-find it real quick.
All right.
so you're actually getting blackmailed?
Oh no, it's going to be another 45 minutes. This fucking better be good.
Yeah,
Wait,
dude.
I know. Derek's blackmailing us with this blackmail email.
It was crazy.
What is a
dude.
blackmail
it was,
email?
I
Well,
think we're
what
about
it
to find out.
was
Maybe.
it was a PDF. You're cutting
Okay.
out a little, Rick. It was a PDF, and it had a picture of my house inside that. So, which is a little bit alarming. It had my name, my address, a picture of my house, obviously from like Google Earth or what. I mean,
Yeah,
in
Street
retrospect,
View or
but
something.
right when I received it, I didn't know.
Sure.
But what it said was, it was like, Derek, I know you've been like searching around in the dark parts of the internet. And it had some real weird wording in there. It was like,
Oh, you got to find this. It was like a personalized blackmail email. I thought you were going to share a story or something like that.
no,
Someone
no.
actually
Yeah, dude.
sent you a blackmail email.
Okay, here it is. You ready?
Okay. All right. Can you
In
share your
retrospect,
screen?
I know how they did this. I can explain how they did this.
Well,
but-
never mind. You don't want to share your address on the screen, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not going to share it on the screen. But it says, let me. Okay, I could share.
Oh, there goes Rick.
That's fucking
His signal
really
went to shit.
concerning me. I want to call the
Am I able to
FBI
share
for
my
you,
screen?
dude.
I think you can.
Oh yeah, I can. Okay. I got to make sure my address isn't showing.
I'm frozen. Now I'm locked out.
There.
Now I'm kicked out.
Okay.
There I am.
Oh,
Here it
okay.
is.
There
my
we go.
address was above. I suggest you read this
Oh,
message
shoot.
carefully. Take a moment to chill, breathe, and analyze it thoroughly. We're talking about something serious here. I ain't playing games. You don't know anything about me, whereas I know you, and right now you are thinking how, right? Something that doesn't make total sense.
This is a bot. This is AI writing this.
Well, yes and right. Yes and no. I think the person actually wrote it. And what they did was, I'll cut to the chase. They said they had compromising pictures of me beating off or something. Which I know is
okay, so it's accurate. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
I know they're telling the truth.
But yeah, I mean, look right here. On the other half, it's you jerking off. With just a click, I could send this video to all your contacts, including my dad, Dennis, and Derek, obviously.
Oh, so it's see, that makes me feel like this is definitely AI. It's like, we're going to send this to your dad and yourself. Like, oh, no, don't send it to me. That would be terrible. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wow. Derek, I have to ask you the $64,000 question, Derek. Were you
No, the $1,950 question.
Were you actually beaten off in front of your computer?
I never have done that, Rick.
Okay, all right.
That would never happen.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You're like, holy shit.
It's a fair question.
I better pay this guy.
But wouldn't it trip you out? Then there's a picture of my house.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely
Street the picture,
view.
That.
Yeah, Street View, definitely. Street
That right
view.
there is concerning.
But it got me for a minute, though. It got me for a minute until it said the beat off part. I'm like,
this is AI, dude. So AI found your address because all that's public information. And well, how did it get your dad's name? So that means it must be looking at contacts.
I know how it did that. So what it was there's these sites that are like where you can look up people's information. You know what I mean? Like the public info.
So and relatives.
Yeah, it's scraping one of those sites. And what was weird is that on there it said, I found the site or one of the mirror sites that they pulled the information from because it said that Dennis, I was married to Dennis. So obviously what it was trying to do was put my wife in there, but it says like married to Dennis, and that's why it says Dennis in there.
Gotcha.
And then it says Barbara. I don't know who a fucking Barbara is. So like it was pulling data from that site, and then obviously Google Earth at the same time, or Google Maps, for my address. And then it did what else? The way I found it was, what it did was the creation time of the PDF and the time that it was sent was 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So it was obviously an automated program. Yeah. And then I did some language analysis on it using ChatGPT.
Wow.
And it seems to come from a German guy, somebody from Germany, based on the sentence structure. And then it went through, we lost Rick, huh?
Yeah,
and then
again.
They sent it through a VPN.
Wow.
In like Singapore or something. But
so, I wonder if it would actually have come from a German guy or if it would have come from an AI bot trained on German language.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I think that, I think it was probably a template that somebody put together.
Sure.
A German guy put it together and just,
and has AI fill in the spaces like your Street View screenshot and all that. Yeah. Wow, dude, that's
you
really
guys can hear
weird.
me. I'm
and then you
frozen.
think like you're obviously very savvy and can spot these things immediately, and then being able to analyze the documents and realize that the document was created 15 seconds before the email was sent, which is humanly impossible.
Exactly.
So most people can't do that or wouldn't think to do that. They would see something like this and just go like, "Oh my god!" And the amount they're asking for is interesting. So I think it's a large amount, $1,900, but it's not an absorbent or it's not like an insane amount.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people would just pay that, thinking that, I don't know, thinking that they're gonna, don't send these compromising pictures of me to myself. But then maybe they nail the names in the next email. Maybe the next one's actually, the guy's wife and his mom, and they're like, "Whoa, no, God, don't send it to my mom."
It was believable.
That's a trip.
It got me for a minute. That one got me and I say this because, and I told my dad about it just because I want people to be aware that things are getting better. You know what I mean? AI and stuff is getting a little bit better, and it's going to get better to the point where it's going to be, it'll continue to get us. I mean, have you heard of the people that receive calls from somebody that sounds like their relative?
Oh no! Wow, makes sense, right? I mean, you can do voice modeling and all that, and
why not?
You can get a call from the president or Elvis or for sure,
Morgan Freeman.
have you've seen like they have ads like on YouTube sometimes that use like Joe Rogan's voice, and they're not. I know Rogan didn't say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and use my voice," but it sounds just like Rogan, and he probably can't do anything about it to a degree because it's not saying, "Hey, I'm Joe Rogan here." It just sounds just like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's a whole new realm of intellectual property rights that we'll see how it all shakes out, and I'm sure well-known personalities are very upset about it. And agents are all over the place trying to figure out how they can limit this. And A, it's going to be hard to limit, and B, it's going to be hard to police, and C, it's going to be hard to enforce. So I don't know
at least
where
in the
all
next
that's
15,
gonna go,
20 years anyway.
when you're able to make an AI image of Brad Pitt that sounds just like Brad Pitt and looks just like Brad Pitt, on there doing your fucking stupid local taco shop commercial. Of course, Brad Pitt's not going to be happy about it. So there has to be some sort of guidelines there. But when it's all artificially generated, it's hard to say you're using my likeness. No, it's like, no, I just recreated your likeness. It just happens to look like you. It's random. When in fact, we all know logically it's not random.
Hey, Derek, did you by chance turn that into the authorities at all?
Suits. And I'm sure they're all over the place now.
Have you seen that? There's a Black Mirror episode where they talk about this, and I think Selma Hayek is in it. And it's something about like I don't even remember the whole thing. I don't know if I fell asleep during it or what. But
must have been good.
Maybe I was just watching something like. But she sold her rights to her face and to her image and her voice.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And Black Mirror is always just kind of just they tell you what they're gonna do. They always broadcast what's gonna happen, and I think didn't actors go on strike recently or something because
I've heard talks about this. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I have heard that say like an extra who goes on and he's auditioning to be an extra for a movie and he gets paid $100 a day just to be a background actor in a movie. And maybe has a line or two, but not enough to qualify an actual speaking part. So that's $100 a day extra work. They can take that person's image and voice and turn them into an AI-generated video that says and does anything, and that person can sell the rights to do that, is my understanding. So you could go to an extra who's working, here and there for $100 a day, obviously not making a living doing acting, and you can say, hey, I'll give you $10,000 to buy your likeness, or $5,000 or $100,000. I have no idea what that price tag would look like. And that person could say like, oh yeah, totally, I need to pay the bills, the rent's late, and I'll take that 10 grand. And then maybe that person becomes a famous actor 10, 20 years down the road, and then this company still owns the likeness rights, and they can go out and make fucking stupid bullshit taco stand commercials using that person's likeness totally legally because they've purchased the rights. Like, that's a weird thing to do. And those things are going to start happening more and more, and people are going to be retroactively suing and denying usage and all kinds of crazy stuff, dude. It's a very weird world we live in.
And they're going to use us probably here, our video, our voices, and they could recreate it, I bet.
Well, there's plenty of visual and audio data on us. I mean, even if you can do it off just speaking a little bit, then sure. Yeah, I'd kind of be stoked to see an AI mic. That'd be cool. Like, my ego would be all flattered.
Isn't Tesla, they made a $30,000 robot, too. And that's one thing Musk said before. He was like, everybody eventually is going to have a robot. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Yeah. Well, think about back in the day. Everyone thought... Thousands of years ago, everyone thought owning a slave was a great thing. It's like, fuck yeah, I don't have to do my own yard work and make my own food. Like, hell yeah, I would buy one of those slaves.
Go water my lawn.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and it's like people thought it was a great idea until we kind of, became a little more compassionate and it became very taboo. But the same laziness exists inside of us. So if we're just like, oh, hell yeah, a robot's going to get me a beer and vacuum. Like, we already have robot vacuums. Why not have a robot that can make my bed or... Oh yeah, dude. Laziness will be the death of us all, dude. Wait, what?
Give you a tuggy.
Yeah, see? Just not in front of the computer monitor. Yeah, it's like, I have video of you getting a hand job by a robot. Right. I'm going to send it to you. What? To me?
Hey, Derek,
I'm going to send it to Derek and Rick. And I'm like, that's fine. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, right.
Did you by chance?
It's going to be your robot blackmail.
Hey, Derek, did you by chance already turn that into the authorities?
No, I didn't.
What are they going to do?
Oh,
I didn't. Just
well,
because
at least it could be
I did the
documented.
forensics. No, you're probably right. I probably should have. I probably should do that just for the sake of other people.
Yeah, at least
yeah,
have a
I don't know.
document.
Something.
You know what? I don't want. I'm scared to get the guy because he knows that I don't know who he is. I'm scared to get the guy and he knows who I am. So it's kind of like on.
I bet. I don't think this person is a threat. I think this person is probably a pasty teenager or just some loser nerd that lives in a shit neighborhood in some country somewhere. And,
but he might have nothing to lose too, though. You know what I mean? And
I bet he sent that same automated blackmail letter to 10,000 people.
Yeah,
I doubt he's focused on you. If he was, it would be more tailored to you. It would be better. It would have been done better.
Why not include the video?
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Why not include the video?
Even like a little more attention to detail. You know, like why would I threaten to send a photo of Derek to Derek? Like that obviously didn't have any quality assurance done. It was just automated and sent out, right?
No.
And like you said, if it was AI.
Like, good point, Rick. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
it'll probably sound good on the
if he wants
recording.
to,
I bet it will.
Because we're going to be like, oh yeah, Rick, you sound like a robot. You know?
He actually said something insightful, and to us it just sounds like.
We should tell people right now because you're cutting out Rick, so like we can't
hear Rick at all.
But in the final recording, you're gonna probably sound perfect. Oh,
and when you come back, it'll sound great.
Hopefully, we get his recording because he needs to. Oh, you got to make sure to tell him to leave the app open so it uploads.
I think it'll still just keep going in the background, even if he gets out of the app. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand why either. I got full bars, full service
to capture Rick's brilliance, even though we have no idea what he's saying. All right. Well, I guess we should just wrap up. That's our hour. This has been a really fun one. It was cool to be intermittently joined by Rick Finger. It was good to see him.
I'm sorry.
He was there.
I got full bars, full service.
Yeah. Maybe I told him find a place with good signal, but it was weird how it worked for a while just fine, and then he didn't move. He's in the same place. Like, why would it after 15 minutes stop working? That's odd.
Is it Aurora Borealis?
Oh, it's totally Aurora Borealis. Damn, those northern
I nailed
lights.
it, didn't I? I nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. You put a bow on it, dude. The barometric pressure has foiled us again. All right, Derek. Always fun, brother. Love you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Okay.
I'll see you. Have a good one. Hey, this is Mike. Thanks so much for joining us. We really, really do appreciate you. And we hope you're enjoying the show. Derek and I sure have a ton of fun doing it for you. If you'd like to support the show, that would be great. You could follow or subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast app. Also, if you want to like the show or leave a good review, that would be cool. Let us know we're doing a good job. We'd appreciate it. In most podcast apps, you can also click the little bell icon thing, and that means you'll get a notification on your phone every time we put out a new episode. So that's kind of cool. Also, if you want to reach out and say what's up, we'd love to hear from you. You can hit us up on Twitter at Derek and Mike Pod. We're also on Instagram as Derek and Mike, or you can go to our website, derekandmike.com. And if you want to go super old school and antisocial, you could even shoot us an email, info@derekandmike.com. Thanks again for listening. We really, really do appreciate you, and we look forward to talking to you again next time.